Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Mataji, can we start?
Sure. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुएव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद समस्त वैष्णववृंद की जय. नामचर दास ठाकुर जी की जय. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. Good morning, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for this mid-morning session. Thank you all for joining and giving a beautiful association. Let us move to the next part of the session. This is Shivani from Ashram, Virginia. Today, the class will be given by His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji on the topic of the sacred vow of Margasish, session 3. May I know who have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam, so glories to Shla Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtidas Sundari Dasi.
Hare Krishna Kirti Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning, Mataji. Welcome to the call. All goes to your services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna Vandita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining, Mataji, and giving a beautiful association. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada, this is Preeti Vilasini Devi Dasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Shivani Mataji, for your warm welcoming and thanks for the very beautiful Bhagavad Gita recital. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Preeti Vilasini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees, once again I welcome you all for this mid-morning session, Bhakti Sangha. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. If one can please a pure devotee of Lord, such action means immediate satisfaction of the Lord, even though such a person is not officially qualified to receive the mercy of the Lord. Letter to Yegra, December 20th, 1970. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna dear devotees, we're very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji this morning. Prabhuji will be enlightening us on the topic of sacred vow of Margasish, session 3. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji, thank you for thank you for giving your wonderful association this morning. Waiting eagerly to hear from you, Prabhuji. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shivani Mataji, and thank you, Brinda, for very wonderful rendition of Bhagavad Gita. It is very nice to see. We are in the context of discussing the sacred vow of Margashish, where young girls are performing great Katyayani Vrata, the Vrata which is going to please Krishna. And it is so nice to see young Vaishnavis like Brinda and many others reciting very nice prayers. So all glories to her. So once again, welcome all devotees. From today, we are going to go quick. We are going to go fast because the content is quite large. And at the same point of time, we have to delve deep into the understandings of the 30 verses of Tirupavai, which also stands for the sacred vow of Margashish. So without further ado, let us chant the Mangala prayers, the Mangala Shasana prayers, and let us invoke the auspiciousness and invoke the blessings of our acharyas so that we are capable of understanding this deep treatise, which is given to us by Andal or by Goda Devi or the daughter of Mother Earth. So before we start, let's offer our humble obeisances. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत्. Welcome all the devotees of Bhakti Sangha Japa group. We have been eagerly discussing about this sacred vow of Margasish. And in the first two lectures, we have delved deep how this has a connection with Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 10th canto, 22nd chapter, verse number 01 to 06, we see how the Katyayani Vrata was performed. So, we also spoke about the glorification of Andal and how she was known as Andal, what is her background. So, here she is going to recite the 30 verses. Don't worry, how did these 30 verses come up? What is the context? All of that we are going to discuss today. But before I start, I would like to pay my gratitude to this wonderful artist who is on Instagram known as Keshava Raghavan. He has been very instrumental in my life in terms of all the pictures that you see here on the presentation are drawn by him. And what he does is he does one picture a day, Krishna for today. Every day he draws a picture. But his pictures are so deep in realizations that it follows the commentaries of the acharyas. So I would like to pay my gratitude to Keshav that one day everybody will appreciate his work even more, that what a wonderful way to glorify Krishna and what a wonderful way to glorify all these verses in a pictorial form. So all the pictures that you see in the presentation are from him. So a shout out to Keshav. Hare Krishna. So let's go ahead today. And as the content is large, we'll be going quickly. We'll try to finish it or try to complete, not finish, because you can never finish such pastimes, as soon as possible. Before we start, we mentioned that we are talking about the sacred vow of Margasish. But we know from the Tamil side of the word, this is called as Tiruppavai. I know many of you are not Tamil speaking audience, but do not shun yourself from new languages because Krishna is Daksha. He is expert in all languages. He can even speak the languages of the birds. He can even speak the languages of the beasts. He can understand the hearts. He can speak all languages. So if our Lord loves all languages, as devotees, we should love all languages. And hence it is imminent that we understand the different dialects, the different connotations, and the different cultural aspects of the word called Tiruppavai. So let's learn one by one. There are many meanings to the word. The first meaning, Tiruppavai, means let's break it up the word into two halves. Tiru we all know it as auspicious or sacred. Pavai means the vow or ritual. Hence, the simple meaning is it's the sacred vow of Margasish. So, Tirupavai stands nothing but the sacred vow of Margasish. What's another meaning of Tirupavai? Tiru means beautiful, like auspicious and sacred. It is called beautiful, and Pavai means a young girl in Tamil. So it can also stand for the sacred vow followed by beautiful young girls. Where do we get this reference in Srimad Bhagavatam? Learnt it in the first session. Kumarikaha, Nanda Vraja Kumarikaha, Srimad Bhagavatam 10.22.01 as the reference. Another meaning of Tirupavai, we can say, is Tiru is auspicious or sacred. Pavai also means a doll or a deity. So that sacred vow, which was conducted by the young girls of Vrindavan, keeping a deity as the means to achieve the goal. In Vrindavan, we know that this was achieved through Katyayani. Katyayani Mahamaya. Shloka is very famous. But in Srivilliputtur, which is near the southern Mathura, which is almost the same as Vrindavan, because the heart of the devotee was Andal, who became a gopi. Many people say that Andal thought herself as gopi. This is an inaccurate usage. Andal did not think herself as a gopi. The more she heard about Krishna from Vishnu Chitta, her father, everything became as is. The village became Vrindavan. Her friends became the gopis. Her gate became the gate of the gopis. Her hair started smelling of butter and yogurt because of gopis. She had the means of speaking the language also changed, the accent changed. So it's not that she was thinking that she is a gopi, she became a gopi. This was her mood. And Nanda Gopa's bhavan or Nanda Gopa's mansion was nothing other than the temple which was in her village, the Vatapatra Shai. Krishna was none other than for her the Lord who is residing in that temple. Yamuna became the temple pond which was residing in our village. So everything became as is like Vrindavan. So the young gopis, Nanda Gopa Kumarikaha, Nanda Vraja Kumarikaha, Kumarika, the young girls, are the ones who did this sacred vow. So Tirupavai is also known as the sacred vow which was conducted by keeping Krishna himself as the deity and as the means to achieve the goal by Andal. Another meaning of Tirupavai, Tiru means again auspicious or sacred, and Pavai in Tamil means a boundary wall. What is this boundary wall? In fact, her 30 verses which were mentioned in this recitation of Tirupavai acts as the boundary wall for the Vedas in itself. That means anybody who recites these 30 verses, they are protected by these confinement of these 30 verses or the Vedic scriptures. In other words, you can say it's the very summum bonum of all the Vedas. So beautifully she has composed all these 30 verses. What's another meaning of Tirupavai? Tiru means auspicious or sacred, and Pavai means pupil or eye. So these are different meanings to the words called Pavai. It can be a vow, it can be a young girl, it can be a deity, it can be a boundary wall, or it can be the pupil or the eye. What does that mean? Those who recite these 30 verses, they are protected by Krishna as if these devotees are his own eyes. Tirupavai, his auspicious eyes, these devotees are narrating about the glories of the Lord, and the Lord takes care of him as if it's their own eyes, his own eyes. Another meaning of Tirupavai means Tiru means very sweet. And this is a very funny way of explaining Tirupavai. And Pavai also means ginger. So traditionally, at least I am quite acquainted with this. If you go to the southern part of India and you sing these 30 verses, they will give you a nice dollop of rice boiled with milk and jaggery, which they call it as pongal. And where do we get this reference? Cherur Havishyam Bhunjanam, says Srimad Bhagavatam, first verse again. That Havishya, that they use Havishya Bhojan, that take rice, milk, jaggery, and this is actually provided. And Pavai means ginger, so they add a little bit of ginger to this particular prasadam, and they give it to all. So Tirupavai is that. And finally, one more meaning, you can actually split the word into a different way. Till now, we were splitting it as Tiru and Pavai. Now we can split it as Tiruppu plus Avai. Now, Tiruppu means to turn it around, and Avai means a cow. That means our mind, like cow, has been grazing on worldly matters here and there, and Andal is the cowherd girl who is actually chasing this cow, reining it, and bringing it back to Gopal. So Tirupavai means turn around the mind like cow, which is grazing somewhere else, and bring it from the worldly affairs to Krishna consciousness. Such a depth of meaning only in the word called as Tirupavai. So that means if the word itself has so much of depth, what will be her verses? How much glorifications can we sing about her verses? For that, we have to see each verse very systematically. So, my dear devotees, the attempt that it is going to be here is very, very difficult. And I am not capable of doing full justice to such a verse. However, the effort out here is for anybody who is non-speaking in Tamil, who is not well versed with the language of Tamil, for them also to easily understand and understand the beautiful relation between the devotees. We are putting an effort to have a very different dimensional view of Tirupavai. What do you mean by dimensional view? We will be covering every single verse of Tirupavai in 6 dimensions. What are those 6 dimensions? The first dimension will be, what is the context? In what context was this verse spoken? What is the background of this verse? After that, what is the verse and what is the translation of the verse in English? The third is the most important one. What's the commentary? There is an outlier, there is a meaning on the outside, but what is that sweetness which is there inside? That is the Acharya commentaries from the Sri Vaishnava, and we'll also touch up some commentaries of Gaudiya as we go across in many other verses. The fourth is the most important to us. In fact, the 3, 4, and 5 can be never missed out. The fourth, we are going to speak specifically about the Srimad Bhagavatam connections. For us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Bhagavatam is everything. So while we read this scripture, which is from the Sri Vaishnava part of the world, what are its tentacles going into Srimad Bhagavatam? Where is she drawing this inspiration from? That we are going to see. The sixth, specifically from our Gaudiya literature, where can we draw parallels to this? That we will see. And finally, the last one is the pictorial treatise by Keshav. And this is like a quiz. If you listen to the first, second, third, fourth, and the fifth, then my dear devotees, my expectation is you can crack the code on the sixth. So the last 10 minutes of every single lecture will be talking about this pictorial treatise. And the picture will contain the summary of the entire verse that we have spoken today. So without further ado, let's go to the first one, which is the context setting. We have already set the context twice in 2 lectures. So Prabhu, what are you going to speak about it newly for this particular verse? The context is so that the very purpose of this vrata, any management lesson when we learn it very nicely that before you do an activity, you should actually know the purpose of the vrata or the purpose of that task. So here in the first verse, or in fact the first 5 verses of Tirupavai, this great work by Andal, she is going to discuss with us the beautiful reason, the very purpose of doing this sacred vow. But before even we start describing who is she describing this to, why is she starting to describe all of a sudden? We were till now hearing the glories of Andal, and suddenly you have started the Tirupavai. Prabhuji, I'm not able to make a connection. So for them, let us understand the background. What is the background for calling this purpose? So before Margashish, let's go. Before Margashish, you see that the gopis were held back from meeting Krishna freely. We discussed in the first chapter that the elders thought that they are young gopis and everybody wants Krishna as their husband. And they also wanted Krishna as their son-in-law, but they kept that desire deep in their heart. They did not speak about this to Nanda Maharaj because he was the king and they were very afraid. So they told the gopis, you are not supposed to move outside freely when Krishna is there, because they wanted to protect the name and fame of their kula, of their family. So before Margashish, all the gopis were held back from meeting Krishna freely. And these gopis were in separation. They wanted to meet Krishna, but they were held back by social commitments, family commitments. So what did Krishna do? Krishna did a magical trick. He made the village of Srivilliputtur, where Andal is staying, he started creating conditions, climatic conditions in a way as if the drought is going to come in, famine is going to come in. Now, this is absolutely incorrect to say, because in Vrindavan, there can be never a famine or a drought. Why? Because Krishna's lotus feet imprints are there everywhere in Vrindavan. So it's absolutely impossible that any part of Vrindavan can have a famine or a drought. So similarly, Srivilliputtur can also not have, because so many devotees are staying there. But Krishna made artificial conditions in a way that drought was supposed to come to Srivilliputtur. So all the elders, they were interested in agriculture. And if there is no rains, there is drought and famine, their business will go kaput. So they wanted to have a solution. So they went to Garga Muni and they wanted to understand that what should be done to bring the rains back. Garga Muni said that you have all these wonderful girls, young girls, tell them to do a vow. Now this is Krishna acting through his devotees. Krishna wanted the young gopis to come outside the house and get their desires fulfilled, but he's using Gargacharya. So Garga Muni actually suggested this to the gopas, that why don't you make the young girls go through a vrata? They asked, what is that vrata? Tell them to wake up early in the morning in this cold weather and tell them to take a snan, tell them to take a bath, the sacred vow of Margashish. Tell them to suggest like how Katyayani vrata. Tell them to perform the Katyayani vrata. Now this was a brilliant solution. And they said, what will happen if they do it? You will get rains. Sufficient amount of rains will be flowing and will be falling from the sky. So the elders were very happy. They all went back and they started discussing amongst themselves. One of the elders said, look, very nice suggestion, but I can't help in it, because it is going to be so cold. I'm going to wear my hoodie. I'm going to wear my jacket. I can't wake up in this cold. But if my daughter wants to go, I will let her go. Another person said, forget about waking up. What about going to Yamuna and touching the cold, frigid waters? I can't even imagine. I can't go. Then the third elder said, none of you guys are saying you can go. How can we send our daughters, that too early in the morning, to cold, frigid waters of Yamuna? Who will be the security guard? Who will be the person who will provide security to all these women, all these young girls? We need somebody. So then they started thinking, who can be the one? Then one elder said, we have a common enemy. Who is the common enemy? You know this Nanda's son, Krishna? He is our common enemy. How come he is your enemy? Why are you calling him as an enemy? He said, this Krishna, he comes into our house and breaks all the pots, and our wives are complaining to us every day. And he is enjoying the whole day doing coward pastimes here and there. Why don't we do something? Make him the security guard. Look at the dismay. The person from whom they wanted to keep the gopis away is now being suggested that he will become the security guard for all these gopis. They said, yeah, this is a very nice suggestion. Let's go to Krishna. And let's talk to him and tell him that it is our elders' order that he has to become the security guard. Early morning, he has to wake up all the gopis, take them to the Yamuna, banks of Yamuna, and bring them back and bring them to our house. Krishna was listening to all this. He was super happy. He said, "This is what I wanted." But the gopis did not know about all these discussions till now. And while Krishna was listening to this, they all approached Krishna and said, "Krishna, you have to become the security guard." Now, Krishna is very intelligent. If somebody comes to you approaching saying that whatever you wanted, desired, they are saying it from their mouth, you should not accept it immediately. You should put a play, theatrics. You should show as if you are not interested, but okay, fine, I will accept it. So when they approached Krishna and said, "Krishna, will you provide the security?" Then he said, "Look, you guys never discussed with me. You are suddenly coming one day and just telling me as an order that you have to do this. I have my own schedule." He said, "What schedule you have?" "With my gopas today, I have to wrestle in the mud. Tomorrow, I have to take the cows to the Yamuna bank. Third day, I have to go and steal the butter from another place. I have my schedule. I cannot do this." He said, "No, no, you have to do. This is your duty. You are the king's son. This is absolutely your duty to follow in the footsteps of Nanda Maharaj. Look at him, how he protects. If he protects our entire village, why can't his son protect?" Krishna said, "Look, I am really busy, but then if you want, because that elderly gentleman, he is enticing me with a ball of butter, fine, I accept it." And Krishna, in this way, he accepted this service. He accepted the service of escorting all these young girls. And the elders said, "Fine, we have got our revenge with this young mischief monger. He will have to get up early in the morning. This will make him straight." And they went and told their daughters. Their daughters were very much disappointed because they did not know what's going to happen and they were not allowed to meet Krishna till now. At that time, these elders came and said, "Gargacharya has said, you all have to perform a vow." They were all listening. And what is the vow? That you have to go early morning and take bath. And we have put Krishna as the security guard. When they heard this, they felt as if a lot of joy is bursting in their heart. This is as if one person was cutting a banana and he was ensuring that this banana does not fall in the water. But what did it happen? This news came to them as if the banana, which was supposed to fall into the water, fell into a pot of milk. And then it overflowed and fell into a pot of honey. So just imagine if you're eating that banana, how much sugar spike you will have. That is the kind of pleasure that these gopis had. That we thought that we will never be able to go out. Now, the same person from whom we wanted to meet will be with us through and through. This is such a wonderful service which is going to be. So they thought themselves as blissful. And Andal said, "This is the opportunity. Now I have to call all these girls and we have to form a community and we have to follow this vow of Margasish." So the backdrop of this Tirupavai is this whole incident has happened and now Andal is calling one day before the Vrata. One day before the vow, she is setting the stage. As a management perfect graduate, she is ensuring that everything is given a meaning. And hence, she is going to say her first verse addressing all the gopis, her friends in Srivilliputtur. Now, we are not in Srivilliputtur. We are not in the southern part of India. We are in Vrindavan. The gopis are the gopis of Vrindavan. Andal is the devotee of Krishna, who is the prime gopi, who is going to call out for all the gopis. And the Yamuna is Yamuna, the temple pond is Yamuna. And she is going to call out the purpose. And she is going to tell the limbs of the vow, the doers, who should do it, and what is the final goal. So this is the context setting, my dear devotees. The first dimension we already saw. As I said, we will be going very fast because we have to cover all the 6 dimensions. So the first dimension we have set, which is the context setting. She's calling for the devotees to explain to them what is going to happen in the next 30 days. Let us go to the verse itself. My dear devotees, it's Tamil. And it's old Tamil. It's of the Sangam literature. It's of 8th century Tamil. So if there are any mistakes in my recitation, please excuse me, because I know there are some very wonderful Carnatic as well as Tamil speaking audience in Bhakti Sangha Japa group. But nevertheless, hearing these verses itself is a great fortune. So let us read the verse quickly. Margai tingal madinirainda nannanal neerada poduvir podumino nerilayir. Shir malgum ஆயப்பாடி செல்வச் சிறுமீர்கள் கூர்வேல் கொடுநோல் வண்ணன் நந்தகோபன் குமரன் ஏராந்த கண்ணி யசோதை இலை சிங்கம் கார்மேனி செங்கன் கதிர்மதியம்போல் முகத்தான் நாராயணனே நமக்கே பறை தருவான் பரோர் புகழ்ல பகிர்ந்தேலோர் என்பாவாய். Don't worry, it seems like a tongue twister as you speak and mention it, but we are talking about the second dimension, which is the verse-to-verse translation. The first line on the left-hand side, you will see the line and the translation is on the right. So whenever you get chance, when you go through this lecture again, you can just pause on the screen and read all the lines on the right together. You will get the entire translation of the verse. But let's go through it one by one. Margai Tingal Madinirainda Nannalal means now has arrived the month of Margashish. So she's telling everyone Margashish has arrived. And what's its glorification? The days are very auspicious and the nights are filled with moonlight. And then she says, Neerada poduvir podumino nerilayir. That listen, I am going to call out to all those people who wish to participate in this morning bath. Our ritual is to take bath. And hence, please come. All those who are interested, please come. Let us move and go ahead. Shir Malgum Ayappadi Shalvat Shir Bilgal. So that means the other devotees asked, who are the people whom you are calling? Are they specific? Are there some people here and there? Or are you calling everybody? Will the elderly gopis also come? She says, no. This is only for us. Because Gargacharya has said only Nanda Vraja Kumarikaha. We have to only take care of those girls who are very extremely young, 4 to 6 years of age. But all these are beautiful women. Why? Because they are in Vrindavan. They are in Shriviliputtur and they are enjoying all the comforts. How you are enjoying all the comforts? Because Krishna is here. When Krishna is here, there is material prosperity and spiritual prosperity. So you guys or you girls are all living in Vrindavan. And one more thing is that you girls are wearing very wonderful ornaments on yourself. So you all are looking beautiful by wearing beautiful ornaments. Okay, fine. You are called all of us. Where are we supposed to go? We are supposed to go and meet Krishna. He is going to be our security guard. But where will we find him? We will find him in the mansion of Nandagopa. Krishna is the son of Nandagopa. And we will go to Nandagopa. But Nandagopa, Nandagop, that is Nanda Maharaj, he is having a peculiar stance today. He is absolutely caring for his son. And he is holding a spear in his hand. My God, I have never heard Nanda Maharaj having a spear in his hand. Yes, he is having a very sharp spear and he is looking to pierce it through anybody who comes to intend any harm to Krishna. In that house we are going to go. Okay, but if he is having a spear, how will we go? He said, don't worry about the spear. Look at the large beaming eyes of Yashoda. She is holding her son, the lion cub. He's not an old lion. He's a young lion. Young lion cub. And that lion cub, the king of the Yadus, the Yadu Tilaka, the Vrindavan Tilaka, is being held by Mother Yashoda. Look at the merciful, large, beaming eyes of Yashoda. Don't worry about the spear held by Nanda Maharaj. Don't worry, we'll see why he is holding a spear. What is the reason? All that we will see. Karmeni Shangan Kadirmadiyambol Mugattan. How is Krishna? Can you tell me? Are we going to meet him? When I heard our elders say about Krishna, I was thinking about him. But can you tell me about something about him? The gopis are asking. Saying Krishna, his body is shining like a dark cloud. His eyes are bright as red petals of lotus. And his face is radiating the mingled beams of bright sun and the mellow moon. Both of them are there. He is shining like the sun. At the same time, he's cooling like the moon. His face is so radiant. Okay, fine. If we meet him, what will happen? Narayanane namakke paraidaruvan. Whom are we going to meet? Krishna, who is none other than Narayana. We are going to meet him, and he will give us this word called as parai. My dear devotees, we will talk about this now, and then we will talk about it somewhere in the middle of our lecture series, and then we'll speak around at the end. This is the climax word. Parai. Parai means in right now, they want to do Nam Sankirtan and go to the Yamuna and do the bath. And for Nam Sankirtan, you need musical instruments. So Parai is actually a large drum which they tie to their waist and they beat. It's like a nagada, how you say, which is used by messengers of the past to tell the messages to others. So she is saying, let's go and ask Krishna for this musical instrument. But others, elders are saying, hey, what you are talking about musical instrument? We are telling you that you should go and take bath. Then they are saying Parai also means rains because you want to send us. Get all this benefit is to reign in Srivalliputur. So Parai, Narayana is ready to give us rain, is ready to give us musical instrument, and he will give it only to us. Why only to us? Why he won't give us our elders? Because they are not waking up in the morning. We are the ones waking up and taking this vow. So he will give it to us and only to us. And only he can give. Nobody else can give. In other words, they're saying only Krishna can become their husband. Nobody else can become their husband. Paral Pugala Padindelo Rambavai. So I request you, my dear devotees, please join us in all your numbers in this ceremonial vow and make the world and the onlookers, everybody is counting on us. The whole village is counting on us for the rains for which we are going to do this vow. And hence, please come together and let us perform this vow and make everybody happy. So this is in gist what Andal is saying. Margasish month has come. Auspicious nights are going to come with moonlight. Please participate in the morning bath. You all are young and beautiful women with ornaments. We are going to meet Nandagopa, who is having a spear in his hand. But don't worry about his spear. Look at the large beaming eyes of Yashoda, who is contemplating him. He is the lion cub of Mother Yashoda. And Krishna, we spoke about his father and mother. Why can't we speak about Krishna? His forehead and his entire body is like a shining dark cloud. His eyes are bright as the red lotus petals. And his divine face is radiating with mingled beams of sun and the moon. And he is Narayana himself. And he is ready to give us whatever we ask for. If we ask for rain, he will give us. If we ask for musical instrument to perform this vow, he will give us. And hence, please join. All of you, please join together to actually do this vow. This is the first verse. But the most important thing is not the first verse. The important thing is now we go to the Acharya's commentaries. Now we have already reached to the third section. And this is where we have to go, line by line. So let's go to the first line. Margai Tingal Madinirainda Nannalal. I'm saying this verse again and again that those who are not Tamil speaking will also learn the verse. At least it will keep going in our mind. Margai Tingal Madinirainda Nannalal. The first word is Margai. Now it is very difficult for non-Tamil speakers to speak this ye. It is a very special way of touching the tongue to the upper part of the lips. So it's not Margashish, it's actually Margai when it comes to Tamil. So she's saying, let me first tell you the time of the Vrata. The time of the Vrata is Margashish. Then the gopis are asking like a conversation, why did you choose this Margashish? She's saying, Margashish I chose because elders' attitude. The attitude of elders are very favorable. It is like a release from the jail-like situation. We were tied up. We were not, when I say tied up, we were inside the family quarters. We were never allowed to come out. But now we have full freedom to meet Krishna. And guess what? He is our special security guard. So it is Margashish. So it is very favorable to me. But why is this the right time? Tell me a reason. Didn't you know? He is the one who spoke Bhagavad Gita and said, Masanam Margashishoham. It is his favorite month. We want to go and achieve him, but it is his favorite month. And half of this month there is bright fortnight, and today is Paurnami. The first day when they start this vrata is the full moon day. And they say that one whole year is equivalent to 12 hours of day of the demigods. And after Kartik, that is for our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, after Kartik is when all the demigods start to rise up. Then this Margai month, Hemante Pratame Masi, this first month of Margai or this Margashish becomes the Brahma Muhurta time for the demigods. And what are you supposed to do during Brahma Muhurta? It's a time where we are supposed to praise and do Krishna conscious activities. Even the demigods are doing. So when the demigods are involved in performing these wonderful activities, why are we sleeping? So it is a very beautiful time. So hence this is the right time. Hence she says Margai. And there are sattvic qualities in the air, and it is very beautiful. Then one devotee says, one gopi says, but you chose Margai, but I have heard in scriptures that Chaitra, the month of Chaitra is very wonderful. She says, where have you heard about this? In Ramayana, in Valmiki Ramayana, it says Chaitra month is very beautiful. Why? Because that is when the coronation of Rama happened. Andal says, I don't agree. Why you don't agree? Because you look at Chaitra. The Chaitra month has a lot of fresh buds. That is when the tender shoots come up. And there are fresh buds on the trees, but there are no fruits. None of these buds will give fruits. It will give flowers, but there will be no fruits. Similarly, Dasharatha wanted to do coronation of Lord Ramchandra, but we all know after 14 years only it happened. It did not happen then and there. There was a delay in achieving the fruition of results of what was planned in Chaitra. The only thing that happened was Chaitra Mase. Tulsidas Goswami says that it was the 9th month, 9th day of the Chaitra Masa, that Ram Navami, that Lord Ramchandra was born. Punarvasu Nakshatra. So in this particular form, he says, in Chaitra month, whatever you think so will not achieve fruition. It will not come to light. It will not give result. It will give a delayed result. After 14 years, only coronation took place. But let's talk about Margashish. Fruits are available in plenty. What to talk about fruits? Even the desires of gopis are going to become fulfilled. What to speak about the rice crops? They are going to bend towards earth. We are agricultural Vaishya family. So we need the agricultural harvest to fructify and to proliferate during this time. And we are going to personally meet Krishna. What a great fortune. Whatever we thought of, fruition is going to get completed. Hence, Margashish is greater than Chaitra. This is the argument that Andal is giving, and hence she starts with the word Margai. And they say, oh, if she is Margai, that is why you are saying that this is a Nannalal. It's a good day to start the vrata, is it? She is saying, don't look at time, don't look at astrology for starting a good day. Today, we have all thought that we will hear about Tirupavai. This is a good day. Today, we have taken the Sankalpa with a pen and paper. Let's write down some notes about Krishna. Today is a good day. Today, we have thought to do this vrata. Today is a good day. The right time of vow is not necessarily because it is Margashish. The right time is any time we are ready to think about Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness, that we should always think about Krishna. But why is that you have chosen this day only? The gopis are very adamant. They want to wriggle out the reason from Andal. So she's saying that why you are saying. Then she says that it is very, very beautiful. Because in the Chaitra month, the Ayodhya Vasis, the devotees, they wanted to coronate Lord Ramchandra, but they lost Ramchandra to the forest. He had to leave his parents and go away. But think about Margashish. Krishna, he left his parents and came to us, and we are all united to protect him. Krishna left Vasudev and Devaki, and he came to Vrindavan. And all the gopis, all the devotees are there to protect him. Whereas in Chaitra, that is in Lord Ramchandra's pastime, the devotees wanted to be protected by the Lord, but the Lord left them and went away to the forest. But here it is the reverse. The beautiful relation between the devotees and the Lord is being mentioned here. Hence, Margashish is very, very favorite to Krishna. But there is a word in between which is called as Madinirainda. Madinirainda means these are the nights filled with bright moonlight. Krishna's experience is like brilliance like the sun. But we all know that sun's light is too difficult for us to bear, but we can roam around in the night in the moonlight. Why? Because the sun's light is reflected by the moon. In other words, we need a spiritual master who takes the beautiful mercy of the Supreme Lord and gives it back to us. And he is the one who tells us to realize about Krishna consciousness. So Andal is saying, here I am, like a spiritual master, accepting the grace of Krishna, and he's going to distribute it to all of you. And hence, this is like the first auspicious invocation as well. She is singing about the Guru in the first line. So in this way, she's saying, Margai is a very wonderful time when the auspicious moonlight, moonbeams are going to fall on us. And it's like the spiritual master who is giving the instructions to all his disciples. The second line, okay, now we have understood what is the time of the vrata. Can you please tell us who can do it and what is the aim of this? What is the ritual of this vow? Neerada poduvir podumino nerilayir. The limb of the vow is morning bath during Brahma Muhurta time. And this is what Srila Prabhupada has also suggested. Early morning, get up, remember the Lord, and take a fresh cold bath. And who can do it? All the interested souls are welcome. Do come, all those who wish to have a bath in the Yamuna river. Actually, she's saying Krishna consciousness. Let's do Krishna consciousness. Let's do Sankirtan. Because going to Krishna is equivalent to a royal bath. Singing these 30 verses itself is like a bath. Bathing in the pure consciousness of Krishna. Meeting Krishna every day in Mangalarti time is the bath that we can take for our spirit soul. It enriches us, it cleanses us from all the anarthas, and it helps us to reach Krishna. She says, please wear ornaments and come. What is the ornament? Krishna is the real ornament, because they are going to meet Krishna and they are the ornaments that Krishna are going to adorn. So there is a lot of interplay of words here, what Andal is using. And Krishna is saying, you girls are the real ornaments, because your smiles are like ornaments on your face. And the gopis are like ornaments for Krishna. And the gopis, when they are on Krishna, they are with Krishna, their beauty is unparalleled. Similarly, she is saying, the earth is the one which gives gold and ornaments. Similarly, I am coming from Mother Earth. She is Goda Devi, she is Bhudevi, she is Andal. I know about the ornaments. I can tell that. Let's sing these 30 verses. The other gopi asks, but why are you giving it to us? We are just residents of Srivalli Puttur or now in Vrindavan, but why are you giving it to us? She's saying, don't underestimate Vrindavan. Vrindavan is so wonderful. It is even greater than Vaikuntha and it is even greater than Ayodhya. One of the gopis was very fond of Lord Ramchandra. She had heard many lectures of Bhakti Sangha Japa group where Ramayana lectures were given, and she was very convinced that Rama is supreme and Ayodhya is supreme. She said, why are you speaking about Vrindavan to be supreme? What is its glorification? Then Andal starts to compare. And she is saying, Sir Malgum Ayar Padi Selvachir Mirgal. She is saying, this Vrindavan is beautiful. How? She's saying, Ayodhya, if you go, you will get the fragrance of Yajna. Lot of people will be doing Yajna. Fragrance you will get of Yajna. You will get a lot of smoke which is coming from Ayodhya. This is in Valmiki Ramayana. Is very wonderfully said that if you take a drone shot from top of Ayodhya, you can see that a lot of smoke is coming through the chimneys. And this smoke is of aguru, incense, havish, samit, and also the bhoga preparations which are going in Ayodhya for Ram Lalla. So you will get fragrances of Yajna, but you come to Vrindavan, you get the fragrance of butter and yogurt. Can you eat the smoke of Yajna, or can you feel the fragrance of butter and yogurt? She said, I agree. Butter and yogurt is better. She said, I'll give you one more comparison. Rama is a very soft-hearted person. He's wonderful, soft-hearted person. But can you go very near him? He holds a saranga bow. And he has piercing arrows in his quiver. And he has this royal guide and he is approachable, but we have to be very, very careful. He's the king. But look at us, look at our Krishna. Even though we tell him, get out of our house, he will come inside from the back door. He's the softest. And he doesn't have a bow. What does he have? He has his crooked bows. His eyebrows are crooked. They are the bows. And they shoot arrows of love. And when he plays that flute, I don't see any quiver. I don't see any arrows. I can only see a flute. Then the gopi said, but then, Ayodhya and Ayodhya Vasis were together. He said, what Ayodhya Vasis were together? They got separated. Lord Ramchandra had to leave for the forest. And after he left, his parents. But what about us? Krishna left his parents and came to us. We were together with him. So isn't Vrindavan great? Vrindavan is super great. But then she argued, the other gopi argued, but royal umbrella of Rama is on top of him. That means he is the king. He is the king elect. He is the king. He is the son of Dasharatha and he protects the entire Ayodhya Vasis. She's saying, what do you speak about this royal umbrella? Do you know Govardhan? He has lifted Govardhan and used it as an umbrella to protect all of us. So if Rama has lifted the umbrella, which is lifted by somebody else, he doesn't lift the umbrella. Somebody else is standing behind him and lifting the umbrella saying, you are the king, the parasol of the king. But here is Krishna lifting the Govardhan and he's standing there. The Gopal saved Brajvasi is holding Govardhan as umbrella. But so many sages, Andal, the other gopi is saying, so many sages, they glorified Rama with the verses by approaching him. He's saying, what to speak? A person is standing there, he is having such a big stature, so many people coming and glorifying him. This is normal. But here Krishna is coming into our house and saying, let me glorify you. So Vrindavan is more sweeter. Vrindavan is more wonderful. And you girls are from Vrindavan. Hence, Sir Malgum Mayar Padi, Selvachir Mirgat, Selvam, that means you guys are very fortunate. Actually, these gopis are Rishichari gopis. They were in the Dandakaranya forest asking Lord Ramchandra, we want to become your wives. Ramchandra said, not this time. Ekapatti Vrata. Maybe next time when I come in Vrindavan. So this comparison is given in a form to say, you remember our past lives? We asked him, he said no. Now we are, let us fulfill our vow. Right? So these are the Rishichari gopis who are asking for it. So, and she's saying that you girls are very interested in Krishna consciousness, hence you are very glorious. Just like Gajendra and Vibhishana was interested. So the kicker in this line is to say, in this third line, she says, just one who is interested to take up Krishna consciousness are glorious. And you all girls have come forth for this vow, hence you are very, very glorious. She said, I'm convinced. And all the gopis say, yes, we are convinced. But I have a problem. She said, what problem? You spoke about somebody holding a spear and standing outside the gates of Nanda Gopa's mansion, which is Nanda Gopa himself. What about that? Purvel Kodulan Nanda Gopan Kumaran, Eran the Kanni Yashodai Elai. Saying, the person of worship, whom should we go to? He said, we shall go to Narayana. We shall worship Narayana. Half the gopis said, okay, thank you very much. This is not our vow. We thought that you will take us to Krishna. Now you are saying the word Narayan. Narayan, we are not interested. We are going to go back. Thank you very much, Andal. Let's disperse right now. There is no need of this vow. We are coming only because of Krishna. Who is Narayana? She's saying, my dear girls, please understand. I can't say loudly that we are going to meet Krishna. In fact, Krishna is going to come with us as security guard. For the elders, I have to say that I'm going to meet Narayan. Because only he will give us the reins. But in our heart of hearts, we are going to show, just like that Katyayani Vrata, which the Nanda Gopi Kumarika did. Like they worship Katyayani, but in the heart, they were worshipping Krishna. Patim me kuru. Please give Krishna as our husband. So we are going to meet Krishna. And they all said, yes. This Narayana, he is not visible, He says that he stays in our heart as Paramatma. Have you seen him? I have not seen him. I have only seen Krishna. He comes, he plays his flute, he steals butter. And hence we actually love him. So some gopis who were going out, she said, stay, please don't go. let's go to Krishna's house. Then that gopi said, do you remember you were talking about this man holding a spear? What about him? Why is he holding a spear? Here you see Nandagopa is holding a spear. Never in any other scriptures till now I have heard that Nanda Maharaj is holding a spear. We have always seen Nanda Maharaj as a very doting parent. In fact, Nanda Maharaj was very sadhu-like, that before Krishna's appearance, whenever he used to walk on grass, he used to jump and walk. He didn't want to even hurt a small ant or a fly. But after Krishna's appearance, he doesn't care. He's holding a spear in his hand and ready to poke it on every ant and every fly. Don't think that he's killing all the insects. But with what thought is more important. Everybody is asking, why is he holding the spear? He is holding the spear thinking that an asura might come in any which way. A girl came saying she is a mother, turned out to be Putana. Another guy came and he was supposed to be a cart, he became Shakatasura. The third person who came as a wind became Trinavrata. All these people are disguising and coming. I don't know, even an ant could be an asura. Even a fly could be an asura. Even a Rakshasa. And they will all hurt my Nandalala. They will all hurt my Krishna. So any ant I see near the cradle, I will poke it just to check if he is an asura or he is actually an ant. So he's safeguarding the cradle of Krishna. He's safeguarding the house. Then the gopi said, how will we go then? We can't go now. He is having a spear. We are young gopis. We don't have the strength to battle with him. How will we go? Don't lose hope. He is also Nanda. He is the one who gives the giver of bliss. He will reverse use this spear. In fact, when you go to him and tell him that we are here to talk about your nice son, Krishna, actually what happens is in Brajvasis, they sometimes go and speak to Nanda Maharaj saying, your son is very naughty, very mischievous. And Nanda Maharaj is holding the spear. And they say, you are very naughty. Please punish Krishna. And he calls, Krishna, come outside. I'm hearing complaints about you. And Krishna comes as if he has not done anything. And he has this small face and he says, yes, Baba, why are you actually telling me this? And then Nanda Maharaj looks at the face of Krishna and she says, how can this boy steal butter? Huh? And then he reverses the spear and tells the Brajvasis, can you see his face? How can he steal butter? And Krishna puts a very puppy-like face in that as if he has not done anything. And then he uses the spear to drive away those Brajvasis who are complaining against him. So yeah, Andal says he will use the spear against those who complain. For us, he will not complain because we are very friendly gopis. And we don't have to worry about that because we have one gopi on our side who is Yashoda. She is holding Krishna in her hand. Ilai Singham, he's a lion cub. He's a beloved lion cub of Yashoda. And he's a young lion. What a wonderful lion he is. What to speak about him. He's so radiant. He's so beautiful. Now the gopis are attracted. And they want to hear about the beauty of Krishna. She says, Karmeni Shangan Kadir Madiyam Bol Mugattan. She says, let me describe you the beautiful face of Krishna. Krishna with his body is shining like the color of a dark rain cloud. These are just similes. In fact, his beauty is far, far more wonderful. And his eyes are bright as red lotus petals. You can actually see here. There are many lotus petals and they fall in the same line as his eyes. Rajiva Lochanaha, says Dasharatha, that Lord Rama's eyes are as beautiful as the lotus. But what to speak about Krishna's eyes? They go up to the ear. You don't have to put extra kajal to extend your eyes up to the ear. Krishna's natural eyes are going up to the ear. And it is very beautiful and his face is radiating with the mingled beams of sun and the moon. It is very, very wonderful. And then she says, Narayane Namakke Paraidarvan. That Krishna who is so beautiful is none other than Narayana. Why? Because the elders started coming. First day, they wanted to know if the children are all right. When the elders started coming, she shifted the statement from Krishna to Narayana. So that nobody knows that this is inside their heart. All this is going on. Please open your eyes of your heart and try to see the pastime which is going on. Everybody is together and they are whispering, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. This Narayan will save us. And it has 4 meanings. Meaning number 1, she's saying Krishna is none other than Narayan. That means in our Gaudiya tradition, we know how he expands for the purpose of creation. He becomes Lord Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, etc. He is the one who will give us musical instrument to perform this. And he will give it only to us. And he has arrived here to give us this musical instrument, which is the dhol, which is the drum to perform Sankirtan. Second meaning is, he is the only one who can bless us, because Nara means we are all men or humans, and Ayana means the sustainer of the world. So he is going to sustain our vow, our vrata. So only he can save us. Meaning number 3, he is Narayana, because generally people feel that we have to put 50% endeavor and he will give us 50% mercy. This is not going to happen this time. Even if our endeavor is 0%, he is so merciful, he is going to give his mercy, which is 100%. So, Namakke Paraidarwan, he is going to bless us. Don't even worry about the result. Result is guaranteed. Is assured, insured. So, this is the greatest insurance claim that Andal is giving. In fact, if you want to start an insurance business, you should have this line as your insurance logo and tagline. That I assure you that you will get the blessings. And meaning number 4, that we are supposed to achieve. We are saying Narayana, but we are supposed to achieve Krishna. And he will be the one to give us our ultimate aim and musical instrument. So he is to be achieved and he will be the one to give. That means he is the end, he is the means. He is the person through whom, through the holy name, we will achieve him. In fact, she gave the entire Bhagavad Gita in this verse. 700 verses were spoken in the battlefield, and at the end, 18.66, Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam bhaja. Please fall unto my lotus feet, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. At the end, Krishna spoke this. Andal is saying, I don't have time. Time is not with me. Madhinirayanda Nannalal, today is a good day, so I am saying, let us go to him today itself. First verse itself, I am going to say, he is the means, he is the end. I am not going to wait till Krishna, till the 700th verse. And then finally she says, Paror Pugalla Pandelo Rembavai. She says that therefore, please join us. Join us in this series of lectures. Join us in this series of verses and make the world of onlookers very happy. Many people ask this term, what do you mean by this term called Rambavai? It comes again and again in every single verse as we go. It's like a call or it's like a shout out. Like if you go to a tug of war competition, they will be pulling the strings each other. Somebody will say, Jor lagake, haisa. Now if you stop and say, please tell me the meaning of the word haisa. What does haisa mean? No, it is just a term to encourage them to pull. There is no special meaning to it. But still, if you want to find the meaning of the word Rambavai, it says, it's like a crown saying, like Jor lagake, haisa. There is no meaning to it. But if you want to still give a meaning, Andal is saying, you follow my instructions, get up in the early morning, take bath, chant Hare Krishna, chant the holy names of the Lord, and follow the instructions and participate in this vrata. Why? Narayane namakke padindelor paraidaruvan. Because if you chant the holy names of the Lord, he will give us the mercy. So this is the Acharya's commentary in every single verse. But there is a twist, my dear devotees. And now comes the twist of the entire verse having a completely different meaning. In fact, the entire verse is a glorification of the spiritual master. Now we talked about one dimension where it is the context she's speaking. Now let us talk about the dimension she's not talking about anything. She's just glorifying the spiritual master. Let's look at the verse again. We'll go very quickly. Margai tingal madinirayanda nannalal. The day, ma means ourselves. The day we say we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, our ego is getting quashed. That day is a good day for self-realization. Those interested in self-realization has to take bath in the waters flowing from the lotus feet of the spiritual master. And hence they have to wear ornaments. What are the ornaments? The ornaments are devotion, knowledge, and renunciation. while approaching the spiritual master with a very humble servitude attitude. Shirmalgam Selva Chirmalgal, she said, you guys are all Vrindavan Vasis, but now she's saying, while we are in Vrindavan, we should be obedient and we should act like number one fool in front of our spiritual master, and we should be subservient to our spiritual master. Why? Because he is holding a spear. The spiritual master is holding a spear to ward off, to drive away all the anarthas which is in the heart of the devotees. So Nanda Gopa means here the one who is giver of bliss. Kumaran means one who is young. There it was indicating Krishna. Here she is saying the spiritual master is always young because he is constantly thinking about Krishna. So the ever young spiritual master, due to constant thought of Krishna, is keeping a spear in his hand to safeguard a disciple from the anarthas and provides ananda or bliss or Krishna consciousness to his disciples. What about Yashoda's comparison? What is he saying? He is safeguarded by Yashoda, that is the holy name. And the spiritual master is the son of that holy name. Just like the mother is the holy name, the son is the spiritual master who is getting favorable nourishments from the holy name. And the spiritual master's glance is as radiant. While narrating the scriptures, it is like the sun's radiance. But at the same time, when he's describing about loving katha about Krishna, his eyes are tearing up. His mellows are showing up. His bhava is showing up. That is like the moonlight. Narayanane namakke paraitaruvan. The spiritual master will surely provide us Krishna through the scriptures because we are following as his devout followers. Hence, we have to be like dolls. We have to be like instruments in his service in the hands of Krishna consciousness. So the whole verse can be glorification for Guru. This is another dimension. So the Acharya's commentaries speak about Krishna. At the same time, they glorify their spiritual masters through the same verse. So my dear devotees, we saw 3 of them. Quickly in the next 5 minutes, we will cover because the last section is not mine. Last section is for you to answer. Srimad Bhagavatam connections. We see the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 4th canto, 24th chapter, 45 and 46. Parishit Maharaj interacts the chanting sung by Lord Shiva. The Lord Shiva says, Snigdha Pravarta Ghanashyamam Sarva Saundarya Sangrahamam Charva Ayata Chaturbahu Sujata Ruchirananam Padma Kosha Palakshaksham Sundara Brug Sunakshikam Sudvijam Sukha Palosyam Samakarna Vibhushanam. Lord Shiva is saying that the Lord's beauty resembles a dark cloud during the rainy season. As the rainfall glistens, his bodily features also glisten. She's saying the same. Karmeni Shangan. His body is like the dark cloud. Indeed, he is a sum total of all beauty. So this verse, in fact, for every verse, there can be Bhagavatam quotings. For every verse of Andal's Tirupavai, every single word, there can be an equivalent verse. But we have less time. So we are just picking and choosing. In fact, there can be millions of verses from Srimad Bhagavatam resembling Krishna's beauty. But here he says the Lord has 4 arms and exquisitely beautiful face with eyes like lotus petals. Karmeni Shangan. A beautifully high-raised nose, a mind-attracting smile, a beautiful forehead, and equally beautiful and decorated ears. So this is Lord Shiva singing in the 4th canto, 24th chapter, 45th and 46th verse. And we all saw this verse where she is calling out for the bath. Ushasya Utthaya Gotre Swer Anyona Baddha Bahavakha Krishna Mucher Jaguriyantya Kalindyam Snatum Avyaham. Krishna Mucher, that means they're going to do Sankirtan. That's why they want the musical instrument. Namakke Paraitaruvan is what Andal is saying. Each day they rose at dawn, calling out another by name. They all held hands and loudly sang the glories of Krishna while going to Kalindi to take a bath. So this is just 2 comparisons in Srimad Bhagavatam because we have less time. Hence, we are limiting to Srimad Bhagavatam's 2 verses. There can be many more verses that can be given. Last 2 sections, entering into the 5th dimension, which is the Gaudiya inspiration. And whom else do we take inspiration other than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Madinirainda Nannalal, she's talking about the beautiful benediction of moon, which is going to shower us with its nectar. Hence, Marga is important. The same verse 01, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also saying, this Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large. It sprays the rays of benediction moon. You always used to think what this benediction moon is. What is it compared to the beautiful rays of benediction moon, which is coming from the spiritual master? What does it give? Anandham Buddhivardhanam. It increases the life of transcendental knowledge. Patipadam Purna Amrita Swadanam. It increases the transcendental bliss. Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. It enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. So if we have to draw parallels, again, there can be millions of parallels that can be drawn. But the first verse, Margai Tingal Madinirainda Nannalal. Madinirainda means the moonlight which is being spoken about. Again, in this same verse, she speaks that Krishna's radiant face is like the sun and the moon. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also saying that Sankirtana moment, that holy name, which we spoke about, that supreme personality of Godhead who is realized in holy name, is the prime benediction of humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. So this, my dear devotees, gives us the Gaudiya side of how we can compare and draw parallels between the beautiful work of the Vaishnavas. Now, the final part where you have to unmute yourself, and this is like a quiz. I know I went like a roller coaster. We are almost on time. We have 5 minutes extra, but that's okay. But now we're going to spend the next 10 minutes as a quiz, which is the pictorial treatise. And again, I don't know how many times I have to thank Keshav, the great painter, how wonderfully he has painted. All these meanings that you have heard just now, which was sheepishly attempted by me to speak here, will be clearly mentioned or will be clearly visible when you see these paintings. But you have to unmute or use the chat to let us know how you all are going to compare whatever you have heard. You're going to compare and remember and tell me what you see in the photo. First photo coming up. My dear devotees, what do you see? It's a simple photo.
Andalnachar worshipped by the devotees.
All the devotees. Okay. So this is like an invocation. Let's go to the next one. Very correct. From the next one comes the Acharya's commentaries. You have to point it out. Okay. Please tell me what do you see. Please watch carefully. And unmute yourself or using the chat, please let me know.
Gopi wants to be in the same bhav. That's why it does like that.
Okay. Specifically, can you see some parts of the verse that we discussed today?
Ranganatha.
Ranganatha, okay. But did we use the term Ranganatha in today's verse? Whom did we use for Vishnu?
Narayana.
Narayana
Very good. So Narayan. So Narayan is being shown. And what else can you see? What are those things which are on top of him?
All lilek and
Krishna is
everything.
there as Andal's Kondai.
Okay, you can see Krishna. You can see Krishna in her hair. That means she's always having Krishna in her mind. What does the cow signify? You forgot one meaning of the word Tirupavai.
Pavai also means cow.
Yes, Avai also means cow. Our cow is, yes, very correct.
The cow towards the directing the cow towards
Krishna.
Krishna.
Very good. And what about these small pinkish things which are lotuses, red lotus petals? And he is lying down below a Kadamba tree, which is almost like Adishesha, which is like Ananta. So this is Vrindavan. Very nice. So we'll ask more questions now. Going to the next picture. This you can see behind in my display picture as well.
Yes, Prabhu, I was about to ask what is this at the end of the class.
But you put it
This
in-
is why Keshav's pictures are so wonderful. You'll have to really keep looking to understand the verses and its meaning. Who is this sitting down?
Nand Maharaj holding a spear.
Absolutely right. But actually, it's Krishna, but the spear
Yes.
only stands for Nandagopa's spear.
And
Very true.
And
Sitting on-
Narayana with the Sheshnaga.
Absolutely right. So Krishna is Narayan, Narayan is Krishna, and his father is holding a spear now, which Krishna is holding. Very good. And what is this on top of Sheshnag?
A bird, but I don't know which. Garuda?
Parrot.
Garuda.
Parrot.
Garuda?
Very correct. A parrot.
Parrot. Okay.
So a parrot describes what?
It's Bhagavatam, Shuka.
That's
Absolutely right. Spiritual
Shuka.
masters.
Yes.
Shukdev Goswami.
Spiritual master.
What is this long thing that she is wearing?
Garland?
The
Garland of
garland.
verses.
A
Garland of
snake.
verses.
Garland.
Verses, okay.
Garland of verses, which she is going to now exchange the garlands with Krishna. That means what is going to happen between both of them? A
Marriage.
is-
Marriage.
And that means Krishna becomes her husband.
Husband.
And what is this behind?
It's
That is some basket.
basket. Yeah, basket of flowers.
Basket.
Flowers means
Basket.
verses.
Basket of
Verses.
flowers, basket. Now everybody is turning
Basket
peak
of
poetic time. Very good. But we talked about something that Krishna or Narayan will give us, which will be useful for our singing of
Parai.
glories.
Parai.
Parai means what?
Drum.
The
The
musical
instrument. The door.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the
What?
drum. It's the drum, the musical instrument. She is going to use that instrument.
Okay.
She's going to. So many things in the simple one picture, right? Now the next one. Of course, we need no introduction. Whom are we talking about?
This is Garbhodakashayi.
Garbhodakya, yeah.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Narayan. Okay. Let's go
Brahma,
to the next.
Lakshmi.
Mahalakshmi. In the interest of time, we are going ahead. This one.
She's thinking
Please.
about Andal, thinking about Narayan.
Narayan. And what is this?
The verses.
Nama Sankirtan.
The
Nam
verses from
Sankirtan.
Narayan.
The
Her
verses.
devotion, basically.
Verses from her.
Sorry, one by one. Everybody is so excited. So excited. One by one. So these are what?
The verses.
Her verses.
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 Absolutely right. On palm leaf, she's written all these
Yeah.
verses on a
It's
palm
all the
leaf.
verses from the palm.
And they are like Anant Shesha in himself. In each word,
The
in
30
each.
pasaram she is writing.
Yes.
For 30 pasaram she is.
Yes. And each word of that pasuram is acting as if they are the Anant Shesha carrying the Lord himself on him. Very nice. And of course, we see the parrot here, which is Shukdev Goswami.
So from the Bhagavatam, basically, all her verses are parallel with the Bhagavatam.
Correct. This is a tricky one. Let's see who gets it.
This is the Varaha.
Varaha, yeah.
Yes.
Varaha.
But
Varaha and Bhumi
Varaha
Devi.
saving the Mother Earth.
Saving Mother Earth, yeah.
Mother
that is
she
this
telling.
one.
Yes.
What about this?
And down-
Putana.
Daughter of the Mother Earth,
Yes,
Godadevi.
Putana.
Varaha rescuing Bhuma Devi, which is Mother Earth. But Mother Earth, which is now the daughter of Mother Earth, which is Goda
Goda Devi.
Andal, is lifting now Krishna. So the reverse has happened now.
Hmm. Yeah.
So nice.
Yes.
Because
very
she
beautiful.
heard from Varahadev. We talked about this in the last session. She heard from Varahadev that anyone who makes a beautiful garland of flowers and has a garden to maintain, she took it upon herself that she will be born as the daughter of Vishnu Chitta. And with the garland of verses, she has fulfilled the vow of Varaha. So wonderful. And then what can you say about this green and blue? I also used green and blue in my PPT.
Oh.
Who resembles green?
Rama, Lord Rama.
Rama and
Absolutely
Krishna.
right.
Rama and Krishna.
Blue.
Absolutely. Because there is comparison between Ayodhya and Vrindavan.
Oh,
Vrindavan.
And Ayodhya and Vrindavan.
The more we see, the more we can relish. More pictures? Anybody interested?
yes.
Two more.
Yes, Prabhu. Go ahead.
Two more.
This is
What is happening here?
Basically, like Andal is catching hold of Krishna.
Where
Yes.
is calling all the devotees?
Absolutely
calling the
right.
gopis.
Yeah.
All devotees to hold hands and go for
All
the
the
morning
friends,
bath.
all her friends, no, with
Yes.
her friends, and then that the
Who is
cows
leading
are
them?
filled with
Who is leading
cows.
them?
Krishna.
Krishna,
He is the
yes,
security
Krishna as a
guard.
protector.
The cow.
As a protector. Okay.
Yes. And the cow is our mind. He is taking our mind and he's also taking all the gopis for the royal bath. He's so happy that he got the best service in Vrindavan.
Prabhuji, but why is the parrot following? I mean, what does that signify?
We can only understand this through the mercy of the spiritual master.
Okay.
Because this whole verse stands for the spiritual master as well. So the parrot will be always there.
Okay.
So the
Maybe we can
more,
understand that parrot is
yes.
the witness of all these scenes, Prabhu.
Sorry?
Parrot is the witness of all these scenes which is
The
happening.
parrot is the one telling to us,
Okay.
narrating this whole pastime, is a witness and narrating it to us. We can also take it as Vrinda Devi's Daksha, as the parrot who is witnessing and arranging all these pastimes, because now
And
it is
you are saying
Vrindavan.
spiritual master, Prabhuji, you were saying?
Yes, spiritual master. What about this?
Butter pot.
It's like a pot of butter hanging from top. And what is a pot of butter which
It's
hangs from the top on the sky?
Narayana with four-armed form. He is sitting on the pot.
And Adishesha's white is like the butter. And what hangs from the sky which is like a pot of butter?
Moon?
Full moon. Absolutely right. And we what is that we spoke about the moon today? Madi Nirainda Nannanal, that it gives us the benediction moon.
The moon will show his
Radiance. He'll show his radiance and he'll shower his mercy. Last one for today. This is all verse number 1. All these pictures. Yeah. They are all taking bath, but they are taking bath in the holy names, which is none other than Krishna. His Naam, Roop, Leela are non-different. So in this way, my dear devotees, we have seen all the 6 dimensions of course, these are not the only dimensions. There are an infinite number of dimensions. We saw the context setting today. We saw the verse and its translation and the twist of the verse for the acharyas. We saw each and every line and its commentary, why it is so. We saw the Srimad Bhagavatam's connections, Gaudiya inspirations from Shikshashtakam, and finally the pictorial treatise. Remember, today's verse is part of the 5 verses of the first set. And as I mentioned about it, I have grayed out the rest part of it. But the first 5 verses are the very reasons of why we are doing this sacred vow. And the first one was the call to all for the Margai Parai, the service, the drum or rain, or in other words, the purpose of the sacred vow. That is the verse number 1, which we connected today. But did they all come back the next day? Did they start the vow? What happened the next day? What are the do's and don'ts of this verse? For that, you have to join the next lecture series. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Andal Tirupave ki jai. Yadatras Kalitam kinchit. Vidhvam Satpurayantu tat. Yadatrat Saushtubam kinchit. Tadgurur eva me nahi. If there are any mistakes, which there might be many, because it's tried to feverishly attempted by me, you are all learned Vidwans and Panditas. Please correct me. And if you found something nice in this entire lecture, then all glories go to my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, Andal Nachiyar, and many other Sri Vaishnava saints who have given brilliant commentaries. Thank you very, very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Is there any questions, comments?
Wonderful, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Very nice, very
Very,
nice.
very wonderful.
And make us
Amazing class,
understand
Prabhuji.
more. No?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. If there are any
Very nice.
questions,
Thank you.
He's
Thank you.
asking that, where to find the pictures.
Prabhuji, these 30 verses represent the 30 days of the month? Is something like
yes, Every day, one verse.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, so the
Will you
pictures.
share the PPT,
Mataji.
Prabhuji?
One by one. Anybody
Will
has
you
any
share the
questions?
PPT, Prabhuji? Will you share the
PPT will be
PPT and
shared. Definitely.
the pictures and all very nice. No, we can tell our kids or something like
Yes.
that. No, so
Again,
we can show them.
Again, all glories to Keshav, the Krishna for Today painter, because
Very
he
nice.
has inspired me to just remember these verses just looking at the pictures. I don't have to
Yes,
revise
Prabhuji,
for
very
the verse. I have to just look at the picture, and it gives us
Yes,
all the
Prabhuji,
meanings
yes.
that we are supposed to speak.
Wonderful,
Dear
wonderful.
devotees,
Prabhuji.
dear devotees, can we request we can go by raise hand feature? I know everybody
Yes.
excited with this wonderful lecture, but still, I like everybody to mute themselves, and you can use this raise hand feature, and then we can take it from there.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah. Who has raised the hands? I saw Sudhakar Prabhu raise the hand. You have something, Prabhu, to say? You're muted. Prabhu, you're muted, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna,
There's a lot of things to contemplate for me in this week, but I just question, or I don't know, as a stupid question maybe. What is the significance, like taking the morning bath, in this early in the morning for us? I'm not saying from that point. So,
Yeah.
because why I ask this question is, for me, taking morning bath now is very cold. So, is it I can take a hot water bath, or I just trying to understand the relevance or significance to. I'm not a good devotee, but I'm just trying to practice
No
it. So,
problem.
if you can help.
This question is very much welcome. In fact, I always say all questions are welcome. Questions are the basis, be it small, big, whatever. Any clarification in the mind, please ask. So thank you for asking this question. First and foremost, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned cold water bath, but of course, there are sub-zero temperatures as well in other parts of the world where cold bath might be difficult. But to answer your first question, is a bath necessary early in the morning? Absolutely yes. Because to think about spiritual activities, first is shaucham, that is cleanliness. And when we are lying down in the night, we are deeply in ignorance. And when we want to wake up in the morning and we want to switch our practices to do spiritual activities, first is bodily cleanliness. So for that, bath is very, very important in the morning. And it has to be in the morning because we are going to practice Brahma Muhurta time, chanting of our holy names, and hence bath is very important. Hence, this ritual is of bath, but this bath itself has many meanings here, which is of Sankirtan, holy names, going and speaking about Krishna consciousness, talking about his different names. So here bath, and physically also they went to Yamuna and took bath. Why? There is a hidden meaning to that as well. Because Yamuna is also black in color. And they thought that we cannot embrace Krishna right now openly, but Kalindi, she is also like Krishna because Krishna takes bath. So let us embrace Krishna in Mother Yamuna's waters. So frigid and torrid cold waters. And Kalindi is happy that she is saying all these devotees are coming and taking bath. She is swirling around and enabling the gopis to take bath. So this is the reason for the bath. And if it is sub-zero temperatures, if we are practicing to keep ourselves healthy and to practice in a long term, if you need to take a hot water bath, that is completely all right. We can do so.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So any other devotees have any questions, please raise your hands or you can unmute and ask your questions. Okay. So meanwhile, I'll see what is there in the chat, Prabhu. So in chat, yes, as before said, Lalitangi Mataji is asking where to find the pictures.
Pictures you can find in Instagram of Keshav. I generally took snapshots and hence I'm repeatedly showing my gratitude that this is not my content, it is his. But these are just wonderful ways to remember these verses. So again, all the pictures are from Krishna for Today, Instagram of Keshav.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So yes, I don't find any questions, but there are glorifications for the class. So Lalitangi Mataji again, she's saying it brilliant, beautiful, bewitching, feast to the senses, mind, and to ourselves. And Sumi
All
Mataji
glories to
also.
Anna. All glories to Anna. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone is saying it's very beautiful class, very enjoyable session, simultaneously being so informative. So you are making us to think so differently, different dimensions, differently about the verses. It's from Sumi Mataji. Hare Krishna. So then
Thank you.
iPhone Mataji or Prabhuji, they are saying it's very visual.
Anybody has questions or clarifications or any feedbacks? Is it too fast? Is it too slow? Please let us know so that we can go ahead, because we are finished just the first verse and we have 29 more verses to go. So it's going to be this way, this 6 dimensions for every single verse. So let us know if there are any feedbacks or comments. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. But for me, I felt it was good as far as it went with the pictures at last. Thank you so much for bringing out that and making us to think. And I think at the last portion, everyone woke up and they were very attentive to answer to the questions. So thank you so much. And I hope that it can be continued in this way also. Thank you, Prabhuji, once again. And we don't find any more hand raise or questions in the chat. We'll end the call here with your permission, Prabhuji. Devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Kirtita Mataji, do you have anything to say?
No, I just want to thank Prabhuji. It was a wonderful session. As you said, it was not too fast, not too slow, but again, I'll bring up my own thing that I'm not from that Tamil background. So for me, reading those verses, understanding the meaning and seeing the meaning associated with that verse was a little difficult. But it's okay. As you said, this way we'll try to learn new language. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful meaning, and understanding it into different dimensions was very beautiful, and especially connecting it to Srimad Bhagavatam. So
Sure.
yes, we can go ahead with the same speed, Prabhu, and we are looking forward already for the next session.
Sure. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
We'll
And
try
one
to
more
make
thing,
it
Prabhuji,
more.
sorry.
We'll try to make it more easier when it comes to words and translation. Point taken. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, Prabhu. So at last you were saying about this empower, right? Somewhere when in my younger age, I heard that empower means like a small girl, a young girl, like that. They are meaning in somewhere I heard when I was younger, when I was small child, when I was hearing to these pastorums, but I don't know where it is. So I just.
It's correct. It's correct. Pavai means also a girl. Like we said that Tirupavai, as one of the meaning of Tirupavai is that all the young girls came together to perform the sacred vow. So Empavai, as per different spiritual masters, they give different meanings. Let us remember that Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya has been for many thousands of years, more than 1,000 years. So different spiritual masters have given different meanings, and their Sampradayas, they quote different meanings. Empavai is also to speak about the little girls. It is also to say call to action. It's a call to action. It is also to encourage an inspirational quote. It can be any of those.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you once again. So we'll devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Mancha kalpadevasya
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
and the
Namo
Gaudiya
Namah.
Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki
jai,
jai.
Haridas Varya Prabhuji
Prabhuji
ki jai.
Jai Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada.
Thank you,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
so
Hare
much.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Thank you.
Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, dear
Thank you.
devotees, for joining us. We'll end our call. See you all on Monday with the Chaitanya Bhagavat session.